Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, welcome to this video. My name is Brenda Campbell. I'm an artist and a certified Zentangle teacher, and today is Mindful Monday. Yes, I'm sure you have been wondering if I have done, since I did post 52 Mindful Mondays in a row, and I decided I would continue. I'm just not going to do it every single Monday. So I want to keep going with just a basic Zentangle practice video occasionally, and that's what we're doing today. Today I will guide you through the 8 steps of the Zentangle method of drawing, and hopefully it will bring you a little bit of calm, a little bit of zen, but most importantly, some mindfulness. It will bring you into this moment. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Step 1 is gratitude and appreciation. In this step, I'm going to guide you through a short breathing exercise, and we're going to try to clear our minds by focusing on our breath. So let's start with a big inhale, breathing in and getting tall, and then breathing out and just relaxing down as you exhale. One more big breath in. And out. Relax your face. Drop your shoulders. And a final big breath in. And out. Now just pay attention to your breath. Let your breath fall into a natural breathing rhythm. Don't direct it, simply follow it. Pay attention. They can be short breaths or long breaths. Just breathe. And let your mind clear. If thoughts pop in, and they will, that's natural. Just notice them and let them fall away. And focus back on your breath. Now take a moment and think about something that you truly appreciate. This is kind of like gratitude and appreciation. So think of something you're grateful for and then focus on it, but specifically focus on how it feels. Continue to breathe. And once you've locked into that feeling, I want you to remember it so you can bring it into our practice today. As we're drawing today, if you find yourself reaching a point where you're just a little flustered, that's okay. Just take a breath. Remember this feeling. And then get ready to move on. I promise you'll feel better and be much better prepared to go back to your drawing. And with that, we're basically finished. We've finished step 1. Gratitude and appreciation. And we're moving on now to step 2. But before we do that, I want to just remind you, or little bijou, our little mascot, I guess, would like to remind you today as we draw to slow down. This is not a race. We're just going to take our strokes and our marks one step at a time. And that's all we're going to care about is that one stroke we're drawing right now. We don't care about the one before. We don't care about the one coming up. And if you can do that, you will bring more mindfulness into your world. So we are going to move on to step 2, like I said. And step 2 is done with our pencil. And we are going to put a dot in each of the 4 corners of our 3.5-inch Zentangle tile, or paper, or square on a piece of paper, whatever you're working with today. Step 3, I just automatically did by connecting the dots and creating a border. Now we're still with our pencil and we're moving to step 4. Step 4 is a string, and the string is a line or series of lines that break up the space on our tile and give us a place to put our patterns or our tangles. So today's string, I'm coming up from the bottom. I'm going to do a loop, and then another loop, and then off the top. And yours won't look like mine. Everyone is different. It's okay. But this is the string I'm using today. And now I'm done with my pencil. I am going to pick up my Micron PN pen. PN is for plastic nib, as you may know. And I have a heavy hand, which means I apply more pressure than I need. And so what I'm going to do today is use this PN because the plastic nib will hold up to my heavy hand. Now it also gives me a bigger line, which I kind of like. So you can use any pen that works for you. And I am going to go ahead and begin now with step 5, which is the tangles. Now we're going to draw a tangle to begin with that is it's kind of an organic tangle, but it's a single shape that we are going to repeat. And I'm going to put that shape right, first of all, in this little loopy thing. So this tangle begins with a curved line that kind of looks like a shallow sea. And then we draw another line above it. We round it out. We start at the point, round it out, and come back to the point. So that's our shape. Our next line, and I'm using my string loop line here as my guide. I am going to draw another line that auras this shape, and it's going to come from the side over like that. And then I'm going to create my next shape. And I'm going to continue around. And you can make these as big or as small as you like. You see, I'm not going all the way across, and that's okay. And I'm making mine different sizes. And you aura the one you just drew, and you draw your second line. Curved line, aura, second line to make our shape. Curved line, aura, second line to make our shape. And we're just going to continue. This tangle is called Molon. And we're just using it to fill in our loop shape. Now mine are getting a little smaller. And there's my first loop section with my Molon pattern. Now I'm going to put a little pattern inside each one of these shapes, which in essence makes these shapes our reticula, and the fragment is the decoration or the micro pattern that we're going to put in each one of these. So I am going to put a simple, this is like a half circle from the bottom. This would be how we would begin our crescent moon pattern, but I'm just using that black circle. This will give us a little bit of drama, and I love drama, as you may know. Now these will not necessarily line up because we're putting them in the center of each of our shapes, our Molon shapes, and because they are varied sizes, our black half circles will also be varied in size. We're just focusing on each one at a time. Okay, I think I'm good with that. And now I'm going to continue with my Molon, and I'm going to put that in this shape here, this loop-de-loop shape. So I am going to start here. And I'm going to do the same thing, or the shape, add my top line, or the shape, add my top line, and I'm going to, this one's a little thinner, but because I want to make these sections a little bit of contrast from each other, I'm going to go ahead and make these Molons go fill the entire section of the loop. So these shapes are much bigger. They kind of grow as they go into that loop. I'm going to put another pattern in here, and I want that pattern to contrast this one a little bit, actually a lot. So I am going to start with an oval or a pearl, yes, a circle, an orb in the center of each one of these. And I'm keeping it open. I'm not going to fill it in. That will be another way to contrast. Okay, and now that I've got my circle, I'm going to draw an aura to fill the space around my circle. And I'm just putting these auras in and filling it with as many fit. So they're going to be different. There should be more as we go through. And these shapes get larger. Okay, so I have two sections with my Molon tangle, and I have them decorated differently and kind of in contrast. And I am going to put another pattern in the background here. And this pattern will contrast Molon because it is made up mostly of straight lines, and the pattern is mirror. So I am going to draw a line from the corner diagonally to the opposite corner. That's how I begin. And then I'm going to aura that line, and I'm going to draw behind, and then I'm going to turn it around and aura on this side about the same width. Now I'm going to add a thin aura line to the outside of each side. And I say thin, you can make this as wide or as thin as you want. Mine's thinner than the other one, but it's a little wider than I sometimes do. Now, typically when we draw a mirror, we draw these outside lines first, or we could draw the inside line first. But the basic difference between the way I'm drawing it today and the way I typically draw it is that the center line on mine is straight, and oftentimes I make that curvy. And it's a different effect, which is why I've chosen to make it straight today, because I'm looking for big contrast between my rounded Molon shapes and this tangle, which is mirror. So mirror is, now you've got your basis for it. I'm going to draw a line from the center to the side on, I'm going to do it on the diagonal, which just the diagonal if you're looking at it like this. And then what we're going to do when we're done with one is we're going to come in on the opposite side, and we're going to draw a line going the opposite direction. So it kind of looks like a tent, if you will. Now I'm going to aura this line all the way down to the end of the space. And you want to remember to slow yourself down. It's not a race. And focus on the line you're drawing in the moment. And this is an opportunity to practice your auras. And these are simple auras because they're just straight lines. Remember to breathe. I'm having a little trouble getting the hang of it here on the opposite side, but don't worry about it. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the other side. So I turned my tile, and I'm just going to focus on aura of this line. And now we just have this last section. Take a breath. Focus on the line you're drawing. Okay, so now I have the inside of a mirror. Now the outside of a mirror is orbs, a row of orbs that fill this space. So I'm going to put my orbs in first. But I'm going to actually make these black orbs because I just think that'll be more interesting. Give me some more drama on my tile. But I'm drawing them first, and then I'm going to go back and fill them in next. So let's go ahead and just stay where we are on this row. And there's my process for making my black orbs. Go around the outside, create my little sparkle of white, and then fill it in. And again, just focus on one at a time. Remember to breathe. And notice how you're holding your pen. If you're gripping it really tightly, take a moment to try to relax your hand a little bit more. Okay, so there we have our mirror tangle and our Molon tangle, and we're done with step 5, the tangles. I'm putting my pen away, and I'm going back to my pencil now, and we're going to start shading. Now I'm going to begin my shading with my Molon, and I think I'm going to make this side my downside, which essentially just means this is the shaded side. So I'm going to fill in this entire section with some graphite, and I'm just kind of using the side of my pencil. I'll turn it here so it kind of gets used up a little bit evenly. Okay, so now I'm going to get my tortillon, and I am going to start blending out that graphite I just laid down. And I'm doing that the same way I laid it down with my pencil, and that's just using circular motions, using the tip of my tortillon against the edge, so I keep the graphite where I want it. Okay, so that is really all you need to do to shade excuse me. That's all you need to do to shade mirror. So now I'm going to pick my pencil back up and we're going to shade Molon. Now, with this particular tangle, there's several different ways you could shade, but I'm going to make it really simple today. And we are going to add a little line of graphite underneath each one of our Molon shapes. Essentially, it's when we blend it out, it'll fill in the space between them. And it'll kind of make these little shapes pop out on their own. At least that's what I'm hoping. So here we go. Now I'm just blending it out. Notice I'm kind of pulling that graphite in the center too, just so that all of that space between is kind of shaded with some graphite. Okay, and you can see how they kind of pop out now. So back to the pencil, we're going to shade this second one here, and this time we're going to shade like right on the bottom, but on the inside of the shape instead of in between. So this time as we blend, we'll blend it inside the shape. So I've got my lines done. I'm picking my tortillon back up. Actually, I'll turn it this way so I can pull it down from the edge. Okay, and let me see if I can just add a little extra to each one of these center orbs. I just put a little bit of graphite in one corner, blend it out, but leaving some white to contrast it. And that kind of gives them a little more 3D shape. Looks a little bit more like a pearl. I'm going to make this my orientation, and I'm going to put a little bit of shading underneath here. And I'm going to do the same thing here. This is just going to make this, as I was turning the tile, I could tell it needed a little bit more contrast, which is kind of why I decided to add this. Maybe I'll add some here also. And I want to add more here. I just thought this was not dark enough. So I'm just adding another little layer, if you will, graphite. So let's blend that out first. It's good to periodically step back and just take a look at what you're drawing and decide if you need to change direction or simply add something new. You know, let your tile talk to you, as it will kind of let you know what it needs. Okay, and then a little bit of this. Well, now it looks like I need more over here. I won't put too much more, just a little bit there. Okay, I'm not sure that helped or not, but I would like to think it is helping a little bit. Okay, so now we're done with step 6, which is shading. I had to add a little bit more love there. And we're moving on to step 7, which is our initials and our signature. So I'm going to put my chop just right here in this corner. And my chop is just a stylized version of my initials, which is B and C. Then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to sign it. I'll date it off camera and I'm going to list our tangles. Polygon and mirror. So this is our MM tile for, I'm drawing this because you can put any other notes on the back that you like. And I am drawing this for my Mindful Monday 53. Yes, moving into a new set of Mindful Monday tiles. So there is my Mindful Monday tile 53 with my Polygon and my mirror, which was not planned. It was not planned to be an MM tile. It just worked out that way. Step 8 is just to sit back and admire what we've drawn. You know, I like to point out the contrast. We've got contrast here between our open shapes and our shaded shapes, our open shapes and our busy shapes with all the auras. We've got our straight lines of mirror contrasting our curvy lines in our Polygon, and we've got our black pearls edging our mirror tangle to give us some more solid black drama to our tile. So there it is. I hope you drew along with me, and whether you did or not, if you are still here with me, I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you next time. Before we go, I will remind you, as always, to be you and be happy.